Good evening. The Canadian Mental Health Association calls it a silent crisis, a sleeper issue. But there are signs that this sleeper is awakening. Around the world, studies, surveys, web networks, journals, and newspaper articles are shedding light on men's mental health. The greatest evidence of male vulnerability is suicide statistics. Among Canadians of all ages, 4 of every 5 suicides are male. Why is there such a low priority on men's mental health? Well, to answer that question, we are joined this evening by Bill Jeffery. He is a counselor and a men's mental health advocate. Mr. Jeffery, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Tony.
So men's mental health is something we don't hear a lot about. Why do you think that is?
Well, a lot of it goes back to our socialization as boys. We're socialized to be strong and dominant and silent, and you handle your own business. You don't make a lot of noise. Asking for help is a sign of weakness for men. The stigma is real. It continues. So when it comes to male mental health, you find a lot of men who, even when they're struggling, they won't reach out and ask for help. A lot of times they say the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and if you've got people that are not making a lot of noise, then a lot of times they don't get the programs and services that they really need.
How did you become aware that there was a real need for mental health help for men in our community?
Well, when I went back and did my master's in counseling, I got involved in the statistics. I joined a national research project called Bro Matters. The numbers were staggering. The numbers across the country are about 3 to 1, completed suicide, male to female. And I became aware that in our own province, we're closer to 5 to 1, some years 6 to 1 in that number. So it was unbelievable to me that we didn't have the programming, we didn't have the dedication to the services that we needed. So I decided to pursue some of those myself the last couple of years.
So what are you doing then to help raise awareness?
Well, I have my own small counseling business. I work a lot with men and with women who need their men to get the help. I've taken it to both our levels of government. So far, I haven't had great success with that. I'm hoping that's going to change soon. I've written a program directed at men in our community. I had that submitted from a community organization as well. Unfortunately, that didn't receive funding either. So I've gone to another project. I've turned to music, and I've written a new song called The Lonely Man. The Lonely Man tells a story that I've heard a little too often through the counseling, through talking to people, through people I've heard from on Facebook and different avenues. It tells a story of a man who's he's got a wife, he's got kids, he's got a family, everything seems great on the outside, but he's struggling and he's not telling anybody. So the song tells a story as he goes through his life, how he was when he was younger, how he is at home now with the kids and the wife as his mental health starts to deteriorate. It tells a story of how he spends his time and how he copes with what's going on. And then it talks about the consequences and shows that, at the end, he really has a decision to make, because all he hears a lot of times is silence and he's isolated himself. A lot of people, when it comes to suicide, they really want social connectedness. And when it comes to men, especially middle-aged men, we've been socialized to not ask for help, and you've isolated yourself. You don't have a lot of close friends. So when you go to reach out and talk to people, you might not have a lot of people to talk to. So social connectedness is a huge part of this problem. And I think that, at this point, we need to call for a men's resource center in the province. We've got a lot of work to do. And through the Men's Resource Center, we can certainly start running some of these programs to help men connect with other men who are in a similar boat.
I'm really shocked and surprised that we don't have something like this for men already. I mean, you say you've reached out to various government agencies, yeah. and so what do they tell you? That men don't need this help?
You know what? The statistics are there. The statistics, they can't be argued. They're clear. The research is clear. As I said to one of our politicians recently, we had Prince William dedicate an entire wing of a hospital across the pond to men's mental health. And here at home, we haven't even started the conversation, really. So I'm not sure why we have such a hesitance to help men. It's not just helping men. Like I said, I've talked to a lot of different women. The idea of helping men actually came from a few women that talked to me about their husbands who won't go get help. And we need these guys, they need these guys to go get help. The real reluctance, I'm not sure what it is, if it's a political narrative or where it is, but my story right now is that it has to change, and it has to change now. It's not good enough.
So if people want to find out more, where can they get the information, and how can they help you do what you want to do?
Well, I opened up crowdfunding today for The Lonely Man. It's on the GoFundMe page. I don't ask for help very often. I guess as a stereotypical man, I don't like to ask for help. I am asking people to get behind this project. across the city, across the province, and across the country. This song, you know, when we do it properly, I have released a clip of the song on the GoFundMe page. When this song is done properly the way I want it to be done, you're not going to hear the lonely man, you're going to feel the lonely man. And I think that's going to be a powerful catalyst to progressing male mental health in our province. So certainly look me up on the GoFundMe page. You can also find me on Twitter. I am Bill Jeffery, and I'm also on Facebook.
Well, Bill Jeffery, I thank you for coming in here tonight.
Toni-Marie, thanks for having me.